quick recap of the last few days. So Philip, the British guy that was living in the same place as me, he moved out. And then two Chinese girls, Stephanie and Joanna, they came in for a night and then they moved out. And now I've got two people, I don't know their names, but they're from Spain. They're, I don't know if shy is the right word, but I think I've seen them once or twice in the last 12 hours. So yeah, we don't hang around much. So I've been up for about 3 hours now. I'm getting a late start on the day. Like I'll wake up at about 8, and then I'm meaning to go and get breakfast really early, but then I just never do. And then I wait until now, 11 a.m. when it starts getting hot. So it's not the smartest idea. But just walking to some breakfast right now. This place about a 25-30 minute walk. Okay, I've actually got kind of a funny story. I can say it's funny now. At the time, it was really not funny. But in my second day here, I was approached by a guy on the street. I was walking, and he rode up on his bike, and he was telling me he wanted to sell me a motorbike for really cheap. He said like $150. And I ignored him. I kept walking. He kept badgering me, kept following me, and eventually I made the dumb mistake of getting on his bike to go check out the bikes he said he had for sale near his place. Well, he's pretty shady. As soon as I got on the bike, it kind of felt wrong. It's a long story. Some weird things happened. He ended up pretending that he was a cop and telling me I needed to give him my phone so he could hold his collateral. And then I had to go get $100 US and give it to him at the police station, or else I'd be going to jail and do hard time. So I'm kind of freaked out. You know, this is only my second day here. I have no idea if this guy's a real cop, undercover, what's not. Well, he kept saying he had a gun and holding his left hip. Eventually I looked at his hip and there was no gun there. And he wouldn't show me a badge, and yeah, it just didn't seem legit. So I just ran. I just booked it across the street, and yeah, he didn't follow me. He yelled at me, but anyway, I got away. I was really freaked out. I was pretty upset about the whole thing. So a couple days later, just the other day, I'm posting about this story on a Facebook group for expats in Vietnam, and somebody posts a link to another group called the Fake Robber Cop of Ho Chi Minh City. Guess who it is? It's the guy. So apparently he's notorious enough, infamous enough, that somebody has made a group, and lots of people have shared stories about him robbing people on their way home from the bars in the backpacker area, scamming people, pretending to be a cop, pulling what may or may not be a real gun on them. So the guy's not legit, and he's pretty prolific around here. So yeah, I guess now I can say it's funny because he didn't really get much money from me. He got 200,000 dong, which is about 10 bucks. Okay, they've got some really cool stuff in this store. This is like upscale electronics store right now. So I've got this like 3-part fan. So these things open up, these scissor things open up, and then the fans start one by one. Like, that is cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so this store is super nice. They've got a bunch of Samsung, basically actually mostly Samsung stuff. LG, a lot of LG, some other brands I haven't heard of, but there's some really great TVs, like some cool TVs, like this curved display here, this curved display, insane TVs, this triple display. That guy just blasting the speakers. I don't even know if you can hear me right now, but okay, still on the way to breakfast. But I thought I'd take a slight detour and go through this park because, one, it's hot as hell out here, and two, it's just a cool park, and it's kind of on the way. So yeah, it's a nice place. Lots of nice big trees. I think there might be like a water feature over here. So yeah, pretty hungry, so maybe I should just go to breakfast and come here after. All Alright, so I don't know how well you can see it, but behind me there's a place called California Fitness and Yoga. That's a gym I might join here as soon as I get a longer term place. Kind of good central area, place I can walk to.
How are you?
Good, how are you? No, thank you. A lot of shops here, it's really busy. There's a big roundabout here, it's like the main roundabout in town, right next to the Bantan Market. This guy here, friendly guys. This is Bantan. Hopefully you can see it. And I'm trying to make my way past Bantan to a French place that has all-day breakfast called Le Fin. Something like that.
Can I help you?
No, I'm good.
Where you go?
I'm good, I'm walking. Restaurant. Thank you. Yeah, everyone's so friendly. Actually, I'm going to take another detour and go in here to Bantan, just to give you an idea of what it's like. So, big indoor bazaar style market. I don't know how well you can see, it's kind of dark. But, clothes, just open air shops, tailors, textiles. This is a place to go if you want, you know, glittered textiles and stuff. Kind of a tourist trap. Apparently the prices here are quite a bit higher than other more like local markets around town. But as with most other things here, prices are all negotiable. So you can get some, you can get some shrunk wrap shoes, some nice watches, definitely some like cheapo knockoff stuff. Okay. Some snack stuff, dried fruits, beauty supplies, beauty accessories. Yeah. Traffic jams. It's all here. Yeah. Basically all the same stuff. It's either watches or clothing or knickknacks, stuff like that. Haven't really spent much time in here. I came here a couple nights ago, just before it was closed, because around like 6 p.m. the inside of the market closes and everybody goes outside. And it's pretty cool to see the night market set up, because like instantly there's these guys with these big tarps and they're just taking over the street, setting up these tarps, setting up their shops underneath. It's a sight to see. But yeah, that's the market. Alright, so I just had breakfast at this place called Lucine. And they have this like kind of a retail shop downstairs. A lot of kind of cool stuff. Shoes, books, bags. It's sort of like a bespoke sort of vibe, aka hipster. But yeah, it's all of course overpriced. It's in a nice neighborhood. The breakfast was fantastic. Again, overpriced compared to other parts of the city, but delicious. Alright, so just finished breakfast, walking back home sort of, taking another like detour through this park that I was in earlier. So it's about 1:30 right now. At some point pretty soon I'm going to be buying a motorcycle, I think. Supposed to be meeting some girl at this hostel like 2-3 blocks that way. First I have to go all the way back to my apartment, get some money, and then do that. And then I'm also moving into a different apartment for 3 nights, and that's back over here somewhere. So it's gonna be a busy day. Gotta walk 20 minutes back to the apartment, get money, come back here, buy the bike. Then I guess I can just ride the bike back to the apartment I'm at now, and then somehow get all my luggage and stuff back over here to the next. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. There might have to be some taxis involved, but I'll get it figured out. So it's pretty tempting when there's like 4 or 5 taxis just parked outside of your place to just take a taxi everywhere instead of walk. 25-30 minutes somewhere, especially with how hot it is. I mean, because the taxi, you know, for a 20-minute walk, 20-30 minute walk, that taxi to the same place is going to cost like maybe $2, maybe, probably less actually, probably like $1.50. It's really tempting, but I'm trying to stay out of that habit because if I do, one, it's, you know, it adds up. Two, it's good exercise to walk, and I feel like you get a better feel for the neighborhood. I don't know, it's just kind of fun walking around as opposed to just riding in a car. You feel way more insulated and isolated when you're in a taxi. But that guy's rich. Got a Ducati Scrambler. Speaking of bikes, I probably won't have to worry about the whole taxi thing because I am on my way now to take a look at a bike on Craigslist, or that I found on Craigslist that I might be buying for $250 from, I think, a French girl. I'm not exactly sure. She seems French, but yeah, it's a kind of an older bike, just a basic like off-roading bike. $250 seems like a fair deal. Two things. One, that's a great song. And two, yeah, crazy busy right now. Like, normally there's not many close calls, but I've already been hit, or almost been hit, like twice so far in 10 minutes. Here's the street. So I think school just got out because there's a ton of kids walking around. Yeah, a ton of kids in uniform. Alright, so check this out. There's these like public exercise machines, I guess. And so I haven't really seen anybody using them until now. But, you know, come 5 o'clock, everybody's off work or whatever, and there's people using these machines. I'm not sure what that one does. You're just turning a wheel. Okay, update on the last hour or so. Went and met a French-Canadian girl named Daphne who was selling a Honda Win for $250. Decided not to buy it. It's a fully manual bike, and having only had like 2 days experience on a bike like that, in a place like this with as much traffic as there is, with as busy as it is, that's a recipe for disaster. So I decided not to buy it. I'm probably gonna look for another bike, probably just one that's automatic, something I'm not gonna like crash into somebody else or have it stall and die in the middle of traffic or something like that. And oh my god, there's some like old ladies group fitness class going on right now in the park. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they're doing some sort of like really simple Zumba or something. Oh yeah, ladies. So there's this really intense game of like pickup, foot volleyball / hacky sack. Yeah, see for yourself. These guys are really good. Oh, that's embarrassing. Hopefully they don't mind me standing here like a weirdo with my GoPro. Ooh. So far it looks like the rules are pretty much exactly the same as volleyball, only instead of your hands you use your feet. Every time I finish like recording a piece, I turn the camera off thinking there's not going to be anything else to look at. And then I prove myself wrong. She's like hula hooping with giant wooden beads. The streets are alive. Just another busy night in downtown District 1, Ho Chi Minh City. I just left an Indian place where I got some chicken curry for about $2, just under $2, and then had a couple beers at about 45 cents each. So that's pretty good value. It's kind of funny. I just passed a motorbike tour, a bunch of white people on the back of motorbikes being led around by locals. I don't know if that's a better way to kind of get a feel for the city, or not as good of a way. On the one hand, you know, if you're doing it all yourself, it's trial by error. You know, you got to go out and take your lumps, find out what to do, what not to do, all this stuff. Whereas when you have a guided tour, they give you like first-hand advice, show you where places you should go, places you shouldn't go, all that stuff. Feels like maybe that's not quite as like authentic of an experience, but I don't know. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but an update on my living situation. So I was gonna get another Airbnb place for like 3 nights until this other apartment opened up. The girl was gonna move out, move into their boyfriend, so I could move in. So I was gonna have to pay $50 for that. And then Tuan, who's the property manager for the place I'm staying at now, if you remember, they have another apartment in the same building I'm at, the Russian Market building. Actually an entire apartment by itself that's going to be open for the next like 4 days. So he told me I could just stay in there for $15 a night, which is the rate that I'm paying now for the room I'm in. But the only problem is, for tonight, it's not open. There's somebody in there tonight. So tonight I'm going to be sleeping on the couch in the place I'm in. I don't know if they're going to charge me for it. I hope not, but yeah, so I'm going to sleep on the couch in that apartment with my stuff locked up, and then tomorrow morning go down a couple floors to the other place, stay there for a few nights, and then hopefully if the girls moved out of the other place, I can move in there. We'll see. So a couple minutes ago I passed by a family of 4, mom, dad, and 2 kids like 4 or 5 years old, about that. And you know, I'm not in a position to judge really, because I'm not a parent and I don't know how to be a parent or anything like that, but based on what I've seen so far, what I know about this place, if I had young kids and I had the choice, I would not bring them here. I wouldn't move here with them, and I wouldn't come here on vacation with them. And not necessarily because it's unsafe, because I don't think it's that unsafe, you know, unless you're flashing your money or something like that, like I am with my GoPro. But I'm not sure that kids that are 4 and 5, if you can help it, need to be in this environment where there's, one, so much pollution from the motorbikes. Even I can feel it in my lungs, like in my voice right now, just being around the bikes all day. It definitely gets to you. And 2, the total poverty. Like there's some stuff you see, and I don't know, maybe they're too young to really understand it, and so it wouldn't affect them as much. But from my perspective, it seems like you don't need to have little kids in that environment where they're having to like step over people who are sleeping on the street, and you know, people are coming up to you trying to sell you stuff at all times of day.